Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and continually teach us this truth. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect that's laboring in this word and truth and sincerity. Lord willing, this could be an edifying video. And as you see, I got this video from Elder Mwatazak titled Babylon, aka America, will become a gigantic haunted house. And I'm almost done listening to the video. I was listening to it on my way to my lunch break, which I'm on right now. And, I recommend watching this video. But this chick is on there giving her testimony from going to these different haunted houses and seeing how women, how they act, out of fear versus how men act out of fear. And there's other examples, you got these TV shows, Man versus Wild. I forget what it's called. I think it was something they did with Man versus Wild, or it might have been another show, but pretty much they had the men and they had the women, and the men were able to, survive. They were having fun, laughing, while the women were, panicking, didn't know what to do. See, when all hell breaks loose, reality is going to slap everyone in the face. Okay, this whole gender war, this man versus woman, genders will resort back to their natural balance, to their natural creation, to the way the Lord made it to be when all hell breaks loose. Okay, men will be men and women will be women. Okay, see, everyone is under an illusion right now. It's mainly you women that you don't need a man because you can, get all kind of government assistance. You can work, wherever you want to work. Okay, you can get, child support. It's easy for you to have men, want to give you their money. You can sell feet pictures. The woman has lived a easy, careless life here in Babylon the Great. Okay, and you can call 911. If a man put hands on you, you can call 911. You can go to the mechanic. You don't need a man to fix your car. So, these women, they really believe they don't need a man because of the way this society is, man. A woman can be never wrong. You can spew whatever wickedness you want on the internet and get praised for it. So you despise the natural order of what a woman is supposed to be. You've been brainwashed by the serpent to where you fully believe that your career is more important. Be a whore in your teenage years, in your 20s. Be a slut, and then wait till you get older, then you can settle down and have kids. And the men are just through, man. Okay, but judgment will bring gender roles back to their reality. This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, verse 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So it's going to be total chaos out here. Okay, and it says men shall be afraid. If men are going to be afraid, how will the weaker vessel be? You women, you were created to be the weaker vessel. Okay, that's why when you read Genesis, it says the husband shall rule over the woman. The order is according to 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter. The Heavenly Father Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, the Israelite man, then the Israelite woman, and then the children. Okay, in that when the man and the woman is playing his role, there can be, both can be happy. But in today's world, you got men wanting to be women and women wanting to be men, and a man, he can't fully, you know, be the dominant force in the house with a lot of these women, because, you know, a lot of these women, they want things their way, and, you know, they don't want to submit to their man. They want to buck up, rebel. All out chaos is going to restore gender roles, because that whole a man ain't supposed to hit a woman. See, there's no respect for men in this world. You know, a woman will a woman can be 4'11" and she'll get into a argument, a physical verbal argument with a man that's 6'2", 6'3", you know, solid muscle, man. I've seen videos of short women in the gym getting into it with a man. They'll fucking get in the man's face, you know, push him, spit on him, and everybody will laugh and record it. But as soon as he defends himself, then he's the problem. So these women they're not used to reality, man. See, when these men get to slapping you in the face and you can't, you know, call 911, okay, ain't no, you know, Captain Save-A-Hole around the corner to jump in and rescue your ass, then you gonna realize maybe I should shut the fuck up and not talk to men any kind of way. Okay, because men are gonna adapt. Men are gonna know, okay, well, hey, it's survive, it's kill or be killed. That's a mentality a lot of these men are going to get into. Meanwhile, the woman is going to be looking for comfort, going to be looking for stability. And who's going to have that stability? The men of the Lord. Okay, let me grab this. This is Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, is his treasure. So the men of the Lord are going to be the ones who's going to be stable, okay, and have their sanity when all hell breaks loose. Because the men of the Lord will fully understand why these events are happening and what they're leading up to. Okay, so you people, you're not going to have your sanity because you're going to lose everything. You're going to lose your bank accounts. You know, that's all going to, you know, be liquidated, you know, because, hey, this current financial system is going to collapse. Okay, they want to bring in a digital system, which the groundwork is being laid already. But, you know, you people, you're going to lose your career, you know, your home, your car. You people going to lose it all, man. So you're going to lose your sanity. And the men of the Lord are going to stick out like a sore thumb, man. That's why people, you know, especially you women, you're going to gravitate to these men, because these men are going to be stable-minded. They're not going to be afraid like everyone else. They're not going to be malnourished, if I'm using the right word, you know, because the Lord is going to feed and provide water for his servants. Okay, the prophets, the elect. So we're going to be stable, man. Okay, because we got this wisdom, this knowledge, this truth. Okay, and we've been warning of these things to come, and we've been looking for these things to come, because we fully understand we're not going to get to the kingdom unless we go through these things. Okay, we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom. Okay, and the book of Acts says that. But jumping back to this is 2nd Esdras chapter 15, verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So this is why men are going to become violent, because there's going to be a lack of bread. Okay, there's not going to be, you know, a lot of, you know, an abundance of food out here. Food, hey, it's going to be a famine. You know, it's going to be a famine, and it's going to be great tribulation. You know, people may have their power cut out. You know, they're not able to get water through the sink. You know, they're not able to take a shower. people are going to see, because people got generators, people got, heaters, people got stuff, man. And, something as small as a lighter will become valuable because you can start a fire with that, you know. So people are going to be robbing and looting each other for resources, for, like I said, the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So what are you women going to be doing? You know, you going to become a woman again. Just look at these videos. Look up videos of women being arrested. They bark a good bark, talk a big game, but as soon as they get in them handcuffs, they turn into a woman. They break down and cry. See, Hollywood has deceived you women too, man. And it does look good. It looks good to, see a beautiful woman. She's beating up, 20, 30 guys. It looks sexy, but it's not realistic. It's not reality. And reality is getting ready to slap everyone in the face. Okay? There will be no more talk of gender wars and gender roles. A man's supposed to do this, a man's supposed to do that. But women, they just, because they're women. They don't have to offer anything. These women today, man, all they know is show ass, show titties, and the whole world is theirs. And they've been prospering, but that time is about to come to an end, man, when all hell break loose. Okay? The men of the Lord are going to be highly desired, a rare, precious commodity. Okay, this is Isaiah chapter, let me grab this one first. Isaiah chapter 13, verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. This is speaking about a servant of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. But even the everyday men out here will start to become more valuable, because there's going to be a shortage of men. Second Esdras, the 16th chapter, goes into that. A lot of these men are going to die of famine, are going to die in the war, are going to get sent to die in this war. So it's going to be a great, number shift. It's going to be way more women, which it already is more women than men, but it's going to be, a lot of women might go days without seeing a man. So they see a man, they're going to cling on, man. But chiefly, they're going to be looking for the men of the Lord, which are going to be made more precious than fine gold. Okay, scripture speaks about a man shall seek to hear another man's voice. Let me see if I can find that. All right. Probably won't be able to find it. Second Esdras chapter 16, verse 26. The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men, so that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. You see that? So it's going to be a shortage of men. All right. So women are going to be in numbers looking for a man that can take care of them, that can provide, and they're going to be, all pride will be thrown out the window. There will be no more pride. There will be no more playing games. You got to take your own dates. You got to, the scriptures say, let me grab it. The scriptures say what these women going to be on. This Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man. You see that? And 7 is a number of completion. I remember a dream I had, also with the brother Yaramla, and I looked out the window, man. It was a crowd of women. And I went outside and I was walking among them, and they were all like dressed up, looking like, they were going to an event. That's how they were looking. But I knew they were there, for us, looking, for a man. All right, it was a bunch of them, man. And that's how it's going to be, man. The Lord is about to restore things to its natural balance. Okay? Women are supposed to seek men. Men, we ain't supposed to be, seeking and chasing, women, man. Man, fuck this world. It says, this is what they're going to be saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So I won't slow you down. You don't have to worry about feeding me. I won't be an extra mouth to feed. I'll take care of myself. Just let me be your wife to take away my reproach. That's the times we're coming into. It's going back to how it was with Isaac and Rebecca. When he saw her, he grabbed her and he took her in that tent and he popped her. And he was comforted after his mother's death. All right, these women, they're going to want to get straight to business. And women are wise in wickedness, so they're going to be wise in righteousness, man. All right, they know how to get with a NBA nigga, athlete, get pregnant by this nigga. Then they know they got 18 years to be a slut and to get paid to live a comfortable lifestyle, milking this nigga through child support. And then, since she's his baby mama, she's going to get attention. She can get clout on the internet. And there's going to be other men, other athletes, other rappers that she can get pregnant by them. And keep that cycle going. Just live live in pleasures. So how much so in righteousness? Because the scriptures say she shall be saved through childbearing. So women I got to get pregnant by this man. But, a man of the Lord is going to be that protection, man. I would go into Isaiah 32, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. All right, Lord willing, this was an edifying video. With that, I'm going to say shalom.